States Supreme Court. Recognizing that the blueprint of American government is the fundamental law of our land, we know that it was written for the common good and understanding of every citizen. However, as a citizen who stands in defense of the biblical families as they're presented to us in Scripture, and not by man, and not by man's emotions, minds, or opinions, we suggest that our courts and our legislators and our government officials and citizens are not interested or have never been presented with what they consider the legitimacy, or they don't consider the legitimacy of plural marriage. So they have not been presented with these things. We're here today to present these things. In the United States of America, government is not the law. I'm going to say that's the law. In the United States of America, and I hope all U.S. citizens are listening and tuning in on the RAMYK Channel, the government is subject to the law. The government is not the law. As is every citizen subject to the law. Here in the United States, when the government assumes power to be the law, that is not specifically granted to it by the consent of the people, the government violates the law created by the people. I'll say that again. The government violates the law created by the will and consensus of the people. The law, and any law created under an illegally usurped power of government not granted to the government in the Constitution, is not a law but a violation of law. The plural marriage statutes, anti-bigamy statutes, as you're about to find out in this series, is plural marriage really illegal in the United States of America? Will blow your mind. It'll surprise you. It is the government that is in violation of the law, the constitutional law of the United States. It is not those who practice biblical marriage, whether it's monogamy and the equally blessed venue of plural marriage. It is assumed by many Americans, notice assumptions can be dangerous if they're not based on Scripture, huh? It is assumed by many Americans that the United States Supreme Court is the court of last resort in the land. That is not true. Our court of last resort is we, the people. The Supreme Court was established by the Declaration of Independence, which declared the people's right and their duty, this court of we the people, this court, we the people, was established by the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776, which declared the people's right and duty to alter or abolish government. Let's listen to that again. It is the call, the right, and the duty of the people to alter or abolish or remove a government when it becomes destructive of the basic fundamental rights of the Constitution. It is not unreasonable to assume that any government will police itself. We know that. We understand that. The Constitution has no power unless it is upheld and enforced by we, the people. No government policed unless its own citizens polices it. No government polices itself unless we police the government. Therefore, we the people have the understanding that every judge, every prosecutor, every legislator, every attorney general, every state legislature, government agency, or government executive is in the land, the United States, is a member of we the people, the final ultimate tribunal, we the people. And it is my contention, and it is the contention of Your Arms to Israel International Ministries and B'nai Yeshua synagogues worldwide, which by the way is the only Messianic Nazarene Israelite organization, legitimate organization, to recognize and welcome plural marriage families. We declared that at our Congress in South Carolina, Newberry, South Carolina, about 3 or 4 years ago. To this day, it remains B'nai Yeshua synagogues worldwide. B'nai Yeshua synagogues worldwide, we find us online, are the only Messianic Nazarene Israelite organization to publicly affirm the biblical lifestyles of our fathers and to welcome plural families within our midst. The anti-bigamy statutes of the United States of America are, in fact, as we're about to see, a violation of the law of the land, we the people, the ultimate tribunal. The anti-bigamy laws found in all 50 states constitute violations of the most fundamental human rights, that patriarchal marriage has never in truth in the United States been illegal. I'll say that again. Patriarchal marriage, polygamy, call it what you will, many marriages, one man with more than one wife, has never been illegal in the United States. But the government, by prohibiting this freedom, is illegal and is illegally persecuting the family unit as a sovereign institution. The government that prohibits what is legal and free and guaranteed by the rights of we the people, the ultimate tribunal, have the right to abolish or remove or change any such illegal activity by our government. We the people, the Constitution of the United States, we are called to watch and police the authorities over us. Calling something the law of the land doesn't make it the law of the land. I can call a dog the president. I can call a turtle the vice president. I can call Saudi Arabia to be the 53rd, 55th, or 56th state. Doesn't make it so. We toss these terms around, these terms called law of the land, and nobody really knows what that means. They figure, well, somebody said it's the law of the land, so, and they said that, you know, biblical marriage, at least the kind that the Eurocentric culture doesn't like, is somehow illegal. We're about to find out the truth. Maybe, for many of you, maybe finding out the truth for the very first time today here on the RAMYK Channel. Whether you believe in the Judeo-Christian account or the biblical account of Adam and Eve, Adam and Lily, his first wife, Eve, his second wife, we have more on that on our website, www.yourarmstoisrael.org, or even you hold to a humanist point of view, or even a concept of evolution, Yahuwah forbid. You must accept the fact that at some point in our history, a man and a woman united to form the first unit of civilization on this planet, the first family of man. Many of us believe that Lilith was Adam's first wife. Others believe Eve was. It doesn't matter. At some point, family life had to begin on this planet. The first family relationship rose above the typical animal attractions that draw male and female creatures together for reproductive purposes and mutual survival. The first man and woman to form a family unit were drawn to each other by virtue, by the emotional and sexual energy of compassion, unique to our species, and were bound together by selfless love the energy feeds. Of course, we believe in the account of creation. In the beginning, Yahuwah created the heavens and the earth. Bereshit, Genesis 1:26. Naaseh Adam b'tzalmeinu kidmutenu. Come, let us create the man, male and female, in our image, after our likeness. You can call them Adam and Lilith, or Adam and Eve. The first couple on earth formed a family unit, a relationship. They did not go to a county courthouse. They did not go for a marriage license, which, by the way, is a trick of the devil to make you to put you in a plural polygamous relationship with the state. The state, Satan, wants to destroy the way our forefathers lived, the biblical families that were in Scripture that you'll find in both the Tanakh and the Brit Hadashah, and substitute it. Don't think, remember, Satan, S.A.Tan, is the ultimate and the great counterfeiter. Remember that. I know you want the truth, which is why you're listening, and I know you want the truth, which is why you're tuned into the RAMYK Channel. Because a lot of people don't want the truth, and they are not tuned in, and they won't stay with this entire presentation, because already their Western culture is and their Jezebel training in Western Eurocentric society is rising up.